Talk about another day in paradise, right? You know, every one of those lyrics that you just sang are so perfect. You know, we are all awakening together. And that's why I named the show The Awakening World, you know, and that's what we all are about. We're all in this process of awakening. And it's so beautiful listening to each presenter and each one of you as you bring your particular medicine, your particular unique understanding, whether it's Raquel's astrology, Isaac's amazing way of describing it. Each and every one of us is waking up in our own unique ways. And that's really what this is all about. That's what the Awakening World is about. It's what our retreat is about, is helping each other to wake up. And we all are in animal bodies. And we all have our own unique circumstances, our own unique epigenetics, our own unique challenges. And so it's important for us to remember that empathy is absolutely at the core of everything. It's like we are awakening and we need to have maximum empathy for ourselves and for each other. And that means that as community, really paying attention to all of our tribe members, what do they need? How can we support them? You know, because we are going to experience, and we are experiencing more and more heaven on earth. And in the external world, there's a lot of hard stuff going on. And in each of our lives, we each have our own unique challenges going on. So I just want to encourage all of us to be in the awareness of that balance, finding that balance of seeing heaven on earth as much as we possibly can. And we do that through gratitude, but also being honest about any uncomfortable feelings we're having, any challenges that we're having, and asking for support. And let's all be proactive about looking to our friends and seeing how we can support them. Let's be proactive with that. So that's my morning message. A couple of announcements, and then we'll get to a wonderful series of presentations from Debra Giusti on Ascension Symptoms. We've got Connie and Andrew and Wowza doing this thing. And I want to welcome a very special guest of Connie's. This is, I know her as Blue Star, 93 years young. So welcome. A couple of other things. We still need to move cars. We won't do it now, but there's a white car in the driveway. That one definitely next break should go to the shuttle area. I took photos, but I don't want to do that now. But I know it's a pain. I moved my car. It's parked in the parking lot at the school. I know it's uncomfortable. It's a pain, but it's really important that we do that. So let's when we break after Deborah and Connie and Andrew, we'll need to, can do some car moving. Karen is looking for a ride to Phoenix Airport Tuesday morning. What time is your flight? 3:33 in the afternoon. So you want to get there at like 12 noonish, 1 o'clock?
There's two of them.
Oh, there's two of you. Okay, great. So anyway, just put that out there. If anybody needs to go to Phoenix or would like to give them a ride, that would be pretty awesome. Also, a change in the agenda, and I just want to get people to think about this. I learned from Jerry Anderson that the hike is quite strenuous, actually, that we're talking about doing. And it probably would be too strenuous to too many of our guests here. So what we're looking at doing is maybe doing the hike on Tuesday for the people that have stuck around that are a little bit more hardy.
I've had 4 people ask me for Monday.
Right, but well, come on up here because you describe in detail the hike.
Okay. it's definitely the most strenuous hike we have here, and we'll be going through sections that the trail has not been maintained for a very long time. Coming up on Wednesday, got a lot of dead stuff off at the trail, but it is a difficult trail. There'll be times that you will do what I call four-wheel drive, where you'll be grabbing a hold of a root or something to pull yourself up the hill as you kind of go up the hill. It is an amazing cave. It's difficult underground to tell how deep it is, but I can tell you after the first 2 or 3 turns, it's as high as this ceiling here, that there's no light from the outside after that. So you'll want to have a flashlight, a canteen, that kind of thing for the trip.
Thank you. So we're not going to make a decision now, but the option is to move the hike maybe to Tuesday for the people that are still here. And on Monday, there's a woman named Peyton Tons. She's part of Soul Search, and she's doing a cacao ceremony in the late afternoon that we could participate in, or in the early evening. And we could definitely have a couple more presentations and a nice celebration dinner. So I'm kind of thinking of doing that on Monday so everybody can be involved. And then the people who really want to do the hike, take a look at Tuesday. That seems to be what might be most.
Or I would do it 2 times.
That's another option. Yeah, thank you, Troy. Are there any other significant announcements? Oh, you lost a debit card. So a Visa debit card, Cape Cod.
5, 6.
Okay, great. So if anybody finds that, yeah, go ahead and return it. Yes.
Kitty scoop and a can of cat food.
So there's somebody stole a bag of kitty soup and cat food.
Those coyotes.
The coyotes might have got it.
Came into the house.
Right. Okay. Well, we have a wonderful, wonderful day planned. So with no further ado, let's welcome Debra Giusti.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, bonjour.
So I'm here to talk about Ascension, which is really one of my core passions. And the other core passion is Soul Tribe. So I'm in ecstasy right now with all of you, because we're going to talk about Ascension, and you are my Soul Tribe. It's been one of my passions forever, is to gather the Soul Tribe. Because I'm very aware that we all came in at this very special time. And I want to welcome everyone that's online as well. Welcome, welcome. So I, like you, are aware that something's going on here. And we didn't just pop in at this time because it seemed like a nice thing to do. We are here for a purpose and a mission, and to escalate our ascension. And especially all of you that are here now and everyone online, you're pretty much on the front lines of this transition happening now. So you all are very special and very, very important. And it's a doozy right now. Everything has escalated, if you haven't noticed. We all came in and we were all, especially me, when the 60s happened, it was like, oh, my people are speaking up. I can relate to that. I was a teenager, but I really embraced all the evolution that was happening at that time and felt like I had purpose to bring that forward. And at that time, I started the Harmony Festival, which was a playground for consciousness, for holistic health, for spirituality, for ecology, for all those evolutions that have sort of seeped into our mainstream population now. But then 2020 happened. And that was, it was predicted astrologically, because I heard from my ascension teachers that there was going to be a major escalation towards transformation and ascension at that time. And I actually was doing a panel on ascension, and we were saying that at Conscious Life Expo. And right after that, the pandemic happened. And so that's been a huge escalation on so many levels, as we all know. So it's escalated the planet because everyone had to go into a mass spiritual retreat and look at themselves, because they didn't have all their other stuff. And all their stuff came up. And of course, it's gone in the world too. Hadn't noticed, everything's being revealed over the last 2 years. Nothing's being hidden. And that's part of what's going on now, is that everything that is not of the higher function, higher vibration that we are going to now is coming up to be revealed and healed. Nothing's being put down. And it's a bit confusing because there's a lot of information going on out there. And it's happening within us as well, as above, so below. So this transformation that's happening, this massive escalation that's happening now, is happening on a planetary level and within us. And so this awakening is happening all over the world and through all the different countries, through everyone on the planet. They all came here for this escalation. And as I listen to all the ascension teachers, because I'm kind of a connoisseur of the ascension, really in the evenings, when I want to look for something, I look for all the ascension information that's on YouTube and everything. And I listen to everyone and everybody. That's kind of my forte, which is why I'm here now to share with you. But it's happening for everyone right now. And it's happening on a planetary level, where everything in our society that is not at the higher level that we're evolving to is coming up to be shown so we can deal with it. And it's happening for us, if you haven't noticed. Anything in your life that is not of the higher vibration that we are meant to evolve to is coming up in your face to be dealt with right now. So I'm sure everyone's going through a level of that. And there's rapid evolution and healing and escalation happening now. So it's pretty amazing. So I've been studying the ascension since 2012, when I went through a dark night of the soul and lost everything that was important to me, which is sometimes part of the ascension process. It doesn't have to be, but it's a way that everything that you're attached to goes. So then where do you go? You have to go inside and connect to spirit. That's your only option, or you exit. So those are kind of the two choices. So at that time, I'd just gone through a major dark night where I lost my husband, my beloved husband. I lost all my money that I had accumulated at that time, which was about $1 million, to see that all dissipate. And then I lost the festival that ended. And that was kind of everything that was Debra was gone, and went into mass connection with spirit, and then just started evolving. And when I was in deep reflection of, okay, well, what's my purpose now? The ascension word came up, even though I didn't know what it was. And then I just kept exploring that and started studying with a lot of teachers and going through my process. And at that point, I see a whole evolution of what is here for us now. And stages that we go through and where we're going. And this is collaborated by many ascension teachers that I've studied with and I work with currently. So I thought, well, people need to know, kind of have a roadmap for what's going on, because it's a little confusing. There's lots of information, but really, what are the steps to going? So that's where I got the idea to come up with the ascension tips, which are really simple pinpoints of all the different stages of ascension that we're going through and that we're about to go through. So that's one of my passions, is to share with you the ascension tips. And I wrote it first about 4 years ago with the support of Meg Benedicte, who's an amazing ascension teacher who I aligned with. And we did some presentations on it. And then the pandemic happened, and so much more information is coming out, as well as where we're going. Like, what is the new earth that we're about to go into, that we're about to build together, that we're about to transition to? So what I have now that I'm going to share with you is my new updated version of the Ascension Tips. It just came out of the womb last week. So you are all the first to hear me share about it in person, which is really wonderful. So I would love your feedback on it, because it's going to keep evolving, because our information of what's going on is going to keep evolving. So I welcome all your feedback to it. And what I'm going to share with you now is kind of pinpoints of the tips. And you can download them for free on my website. So I'm going to share with you a copy of the tips now and then pass it around, as well as the card that you can download. And then also my other book, which is Activate Your Soul Tribe, which is the other book I wrote, but you can get on Amazon or you can download it for free at that website, Activate Your Soul Tribe. So I'm going to pass these out now. Okay, great. Yeah, I just put them on the zip side. And then one goes that side and that side.
Yeah, I have one for the camera.
So. So basically, what is ascension? So what ascension is the escalated spiritual process that we're going through now, is a quickening, because that's what's happening on the planet. The whole planet is going through ascension. What I hear from many ascension teachers is we're actually going into a section of the universe, what is called the photon belt. Are asking. And we can see it everywhere. Everything's quickening. It wasn't like this when we were children, right? Things were a little bit slower, a little bit simpler. Now it's going to a whole other level and calling you to be at a whole other level. And so it's the process that we go through, which includes deep healing. So you can heal the core wounds and everything that's of a lower vibration. So you can actually alchemically rise multidimensionally to another level of consciousness, quantum consciousness, and you can perceive and act at a whole nother level. And this is really an alchemical process that happens in your DNA that we're calling forward right now. And again, this is planetary, and there's very much the frequency of the heart is involved, and everyone on the planet is being invited to do this now, to go through the ascension. And more than ever, humanity is embracing multidimensional realities, is embracing the galactics, is embracing all kinds of things as you've seen and you perceive as you're going there. So we're all doing this together. And it's different than what happened before. Before Christ, Mary Magdalene, they would have an individual ascension, and we honored them for that. What we're talking about now is the planetary ascension, where we're all going to be able to do this together in an embodied way. This has not happened in the planet before in this way. I think there was an attempt in Atlantis and Lemuria and other places, but that didn't quite work at that point. So we have another chance to rise up to another level and go to what's called fifth dimensional consciousness reality and operate at a whole nother level, which as starseeds and indigos and people that have come probably from other places, they're all aware of this. And I also want to make a note that you all know all this and we're just remembering this. So allow your memories and your knowings to come in as I share all this, because this is how it happens. We open up and we hook on to this knowing that we have, body of knowledge or memories that we have, and it will begin to open up. So the way I laid it out is there's 4 sections to this, just to make it really clear. It's like I said, Ascension for Dummies, so that we can just really understand clearly. But these are not simple concepts. And again, this is not a race. The ascension is your own very personal journey. So take it on as your own magical mystery tour, because that's what it's like. It's like life starts to open up in whole new ways. And I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, or you wouldn't be sitting in front of me right here. So you understand that. So the first section is the awakening. And that's where you start to realize that you're in a box, that you're in the matrix, that there's a whole lot more than what you've been told, what you understand, what you know. This may come from just all of a sudden you wake up and you start to know and have a passion for other things that are multidimensional and spiritual. Or you might have a severe near-death experience and you awaken. Or you have some other trauma. But at some point you wake up and then you start to cultivate a passion for the awakening. And then you start to draw things into your life that are of what you're trying to call for, specific teachers, specific experiences, things like that. And I'll share with you some of the tips. I have 22 tips on each category. And each tip you could spend a whole time, talking about, and they're all stages. So again, this is an overview. So don't let yourself get overwhelmed and think that you're not somewhere where you're perfect where you are. And this is to help just to key you in to all the things that are happening in your life that are part of the ascension, and also where we're going with this. So the first thing is to fully embrace it. Fully embrace your awakening and develop a passion for it. Because a passion is what attracts things in your life. I think you all know that as you've experienced with manifestation. You've got to put the passion out there and it starts to attract things. And then realize this is individual journey. Even though we're all going through some things that are different, this is your journey and it's all different for everyone in all ways. But we can learn from each other, and as we do it together, we assist each other. And the more we awake other people. So we're doing it together, but it's our own personal journey. And then you've got to be prepared for a complete transformation in your life. So if you decide you're going to go on the awakening path, you can't go, oh, I think I'll be on awakening path today, but not tomorrow. It's, you got to keep going on. It's like being pregnant. You can't be pregnant one day and not the other. You're on the path and you've got to move forward to it. So you've really got to know that you're on the path. And you've got to start to open up that you are a multidimensional being, that you're way more than this human suit, and allow that awareness to come to you. And I know 3D life doesn't confirm that, but you will start to attract people and situations and happenings into your life that will confirm that. And start to embrace nature as one of your teachers and one of your healers. Nature is there to energize you and to heal you and to teach you. So going to walk with nature is really an important part of this. So you can get back and be connected with Mama Gaia and have her be your teacher, because you are ascending with her. And then you've got to have a spiritual practice. And again, it's not, oh, I think I'll meditate, and then after 3 weeks, oh, I'm kind of bored with that. No, this is like brushing your teeth. This is like the time where you tune in and you activate your energies and connect with spirit and your higher self and really tune in. And there's so many ways you can do it, and you can attract different ways that you want to meditate. But it's important to have that daily practice where you tune in. I myself do it at 4 a.m. because everyone's quiet and sleeping, and I can really tune in. And I haven't started my kind of do it brain, and that really works for me. Other people may want to do it in the evening or any special time, but create a regular meditation practice. And then you've heard this before, but this is really true. It's about raising your vibration. So really be conscious how to keep your vibration at a high level and know what that's like. Feel that inside of you. And that goes through all levels of your energy bodies and system. Keep your level. And when something comes into you and you feel your energy going down, realize that's not something that keeps your vibration high. So maybe it's even a certain past friend that comes to you and she sucks on your energy, and it's not, you just be aware of what, or you eat something that tastes good, but it like, keep your vibration high, because that's what starts to activate your ascension process. And there's so many ways to raise your vibration with music, dance, sound, love, just everything. You can start to feel it within you. And you pay attention to synchronicities in your life. So now life starts to get really magical and things start to show up, and there are doorways that you're meant to go through. And find whatever your next step is, find your next teacher, find your new soulmate, find whatever, but look for all the synchronicities, because that's fifth dimensional. Fifth dimensional level is synchronicities. You call for things, they pop up in your field. And watch your dreams. Your dreams will be your teacher. And I'm sure a lot of you know how to walk through your dreams, and ask your dreams to tell you and to teach you and to bring you things. Be open to downloads and visions. So as you start to open up your field, visions, downloads will start to come in. And so that's a part of the awakening that you will start to get. Everyone, we're so connected, but we've been, as you know, dumbed down from our past history. And now we're going to be opening up to have access to all that information. And you need to embrace everything that happens to you. Like, don't start arguing with God, Goddess, that you didn't like that thing that happened, in your ascension process. Everything that happens is there for a teacher, whether you like it or not. So you may embrace the sadness for whatever happens, but then look at it and turn it into your teacher. Master your fears, practice non-attachment, and develop trust. So that's a whole mouthful in itself. So like I said, a lot of these you can just go deep into. And gratitude, we know if you keep yourself in a state of gratitude, that continues to bring things forward to you. Cultivate forgiveness. I think we all know forgiveness is such a big part of it, because if you're holding that negativity, resentment, you can't attract the next level of the higher vision. So it's a lot of personal work that you need to do, that I know a lot of you have been around for a while and you know this, and this is in the first parts, but this is like a check, check, check that you're still working on this. Self-love, we all talk about that. That is so key, because if you can't be the divine and be in self-love, you're not going to bring through the next level of your ascension training and teaching that is going to come to you. So loving the self and getting to that place is really key. And also, it's not a thing to try and convert people, to this. Being is what shares this. Being the ascension, being the love, being the self-love, being all that is what people really get on a soul level. And then it's also really important to have teachers and coaches. There's a lot of teachers and coaches out there. For me, my phone is one of my best teachers. Because I can, in the morning, I go, well, what do I need to listen to? And I'll go to YouTube and I'll have this incredible transmission that is exactly what I need to hear. And there's teachers all over now. It used to be that you'd have to, go for 20 years in a mystery school before you can get one next level of the information. Now it's all here for us. We embrace it. So find your teacher and your coach and anything you want to do well. Teachers and coaches are important. And go to sacred sites, we are, to really activate your energy. Sacred sites are really important for you to do journeys there and take spiritual quests to sacred sites. And start to open up to your ascended master teachers, your guides, all of that. They're all here to help at this point. They're all here to serve, because we're all connected. And the more we ascend up, the more they ascend up. It's, so reach out to them. And again, I'm going to say this every single tip, every single section, cultivate love, unconditional love, because that's the bottom line. That's the frequency we're going into in the next level of the fifth dimension. And that's where we are going to operate in the frequency of love at all times. So that was section 1, of the awakening. If we had more time, I'd go into questions and comments, but I'd kind of like to get through this but I'm going to do some more workshops and we can do things more together. So the next, how much time do we have, Scott? Is he here?
Timeless.
Okay, we're timeless. Any comment from that? I'm going to invite one comment from that, if anyone has anything.
That's about Sedona and this relation, what you're talking of, and this energy in the moment here of Sedona.
Oh yeah, amazing. So the next one is when the work really starts to happen, the transmutation. And so I'm talking about really an alchemical change, not only in your physical body, but all your bodies, all your energy, casual, spiritual bodies, and how you prompt that change. So transmutation. So just get some notes. And one of the most important things is to really develop a relationship with your higher self, because your higher self is going to be your teacher and your guide on this. And that's what you can tune into, who you can tune into at any time for questions, for guidance in your meditations, to request to bring you whatever you think you need on your next step. So that's one of the keys. And again, it's not a race, it's your journey, and whatever happens to you is perfect. And all of you are, especially gifted and blessed to be here now and have the consciousness you are. You can be at this retreat and be seeking all this incredible soul tribe connections now. So the first thing is to extract your energy from the global matrix program. Get your mind and your being out of just being in the 3D matrix and live outside of it in so many levels. I mean, that's what Sedona is about, so we're perfect here with that. And learn to master your energy. Don't just think of yourself as this suit, but you're really this energetic system with many energy bodies, and learn to master that in so many ways. Again, every tip is a whole thing, but I'm just planting seeds. And then learn to tame your ego and put your ego in a place that serves your soul and your higher self, not the ego running the show. I think we all know about that, but it's really to be conscious about your ego and putting it in its place. And then one of the most important things is to do your shadow work, because your shadow work and uncovering your core traumas is really, really important in this stage. And that's why we're being all called to do that on so many levels. Because if you don't go down and heal your core wounds, they will come up as you're trying to ascend. They'll come up and grab you and bring you right down and give you some story as to why you're not supposed to be flying there. So that's a big part of doing the inner work, to go to your core wounds and heal them and work with them and be aware of them. Do not live in a state of judgment. Another thing is be aware of the Ascension Symptoms. So probably some of you are aware of a concept called Ascension Flu. And that's because when you raise your vibration to another level, you start to detox, right? It's just like the physical body. Your energy body starts to detox emotionally and energetically. And you will start to go through all kinds of symptoms. So just know, I remember that when I started to get Ascension activations, I would come up and I'd have like a day where I'd have to go down because my whole body was readjusting itself to go up to another level. So that's a whole phenomenon, this ascension. It can be some headaches or other things that you go through as you're starting to level up and starting to detox with everything. And then know that sometimes you might go through a dark night of the soul, like I did. And I heard someone share with me they've been through many. Sometimes the soul does that for reasons of releasing a lot of karma. Sometimes it does it just to get you to get on your knees and get serious, or many reasons. So embrace those challenges where things tend to, sometimes fall apart. Maybe your soul will do that to just uproot you from this hold you have in the 3D matrix. So embrace that and go through it. And when you come out on the other side, you're so free, but sometimes that's a part of it. And develop discernment, because as you go to the higher levels, you will have to develop more and more discernment of where you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to place your energy body, your system, and your focus. So discernment is a really important part. And another big one, do not live in a state of judgment. Judgment is a really low level energy. And it's mostly false, because what you judge, you only have a little piece of information of what you're judging. So you're doing all this projection with it. So judgment is a really important thing as well. And another one you're probably all aware of, heal your core negative limiting beliefs. Because ascension is really coming into your superpowerdom, expanding to levels that you don't even think. So if you have those limiting negative beliefs still in your system that somehow tell you you can't do, or you're not the divine, that's going to again stop you. So again, that's important work. And resolve any outstanding karma and complete soul contracts that you have. Connect and heal with your inner child. That's another important piece of work. I know all of us have been in personal growth work forever. And this is why we're doing that. This is why we were so compelled to go into it. So the inner child work, to let the inner child come out and not be suppressed, is really important, and let her know what she has to teach you. And then after doing all that work, the fun starts to happen. Your intuition starts to expand, and you start to operate from your intuition and use that as a sense, as you well should have. So start to really cultivate that and utilize that and test that, because at the next ascended levels, we're going to be using intuition completely. That has now been a little dumbed down and suppressed. So let that evolve and utilize and work with it. And lighten up, because it seems like it can be really serious, but it's really important to lighten up and take, laugh and be light and enjoy things. So that's a really important part of the process. Another important thing is operate through the universal law of sovereignty and freedom, and really claim your sovereign right. As you know, with what's going on in the world, there's a lot going on with that, whereas the mass human collective is really embracing that as an understanding that needs to happen. So understand that you are sovereign and not owned or attached to anyone. Again, that's a big piece. Another big piece of the ascension is that there is so much energetic support that's happening now. There are waves coming in from the galactic universe, from many systems, that is here to up-level our frequency. And so be aware of that. And I'm sure you're hearing it in various ways. And these are actually pulses that come through, that if you're more open to it and if you more receive it, it can up-level your energy frequency. And these sometimes come in waves and sometimes happen all the time. So be aware of these pulses that come in. And of course, during very special portal times or equinoxes, they come in really strongly. So if you can be in ceremony and be in conscious reception of all that assistance, that's what's happening on the planet now to up-level it to the next levels of frequency. And realize, like we're doing here, there's a whole new level of relationship that's being born. Relationship is a whole category in itself. As you know, that's one of his superpowers. But start to live in a new level of relationship with all your people, with integrity, with love, with conscious communication. That's all something that is, it's got to be mandatory. This is how we live now. And continue to develop with your guides. I myself have a whole pantheon of ascended master guides that I bring in every single meditation and ask them to help me during their day. I did this as a conscious practice when I went to Thailand. I said, I'm going to bring in every ascended master guide that I feel very connected with and have them be with me. And so they help me in everything that I do, and they're there to be there. So, and then the galactics are just like right around the corner here, ready to connect with us and know your star family and where you came from. If you consciously came here as a star thief, to be here during this time. And again, love is the bottom line. That's just the bottom line of everything, which is why we have these retreats, just to be in a field of love and appreciation with everyone. So that's transmutation. And the next one is embodiment. And that's where you really start to be the ascended being. So what we're talking about, again, is we're not going out of our body to be somewhere else on another plane. We are being the ascension right now, incarnate now. And We're talking about the organic ascension of Mother Earth. And I just want to touch a little bit about it because you've probably been hearing this come through, that there is sort of a battle going on for the inorganic ascension with certain groups of people that are connected with various alien groups that are here for the transhumanism agenda. And so what I'm here for, and I inspire you to, is the organic ascension, where we ascend in this physical body, activating our DNA to the superhuman reality that we can be, instead of putting microchips in that have us be superhuman, which is kind of on the horizon, if you've heard that. So, is that a 10? Okay. So the embodiment. Living in the now, we've all heard that, and that is really true for the embodiment. Another part that happens is you work on all levels of your physical body and activate your physical and energy body. So you start actually reversing your aging and start coming into a younger part of yourself. And new technologies will be coming in to help that. What Jerry's brought in, there's another system that I'm aware of, the EE systems that's coming in. So we are going to have much younger bodies and much less dense bodies. We're going to live at a much more lighter frequency. And we're going to start living as quantum conscious of non-duality, of unity consciousness and oneness. So we all talk about that now. And we all know that's where we're going to get glimpses of it. But the embodiment is to live in that consciousness the whole time. And I know people that do live in that consciousness. So it's just right around the corner for us. And start to learn and access what living in fifth dimension is really about, which is the unique consciousness. Because where we're going is from 3D to the next sector, which is 4, 5, and 6D. And fifth dimension is where we're going. Be receptive to Kundalini activations as your whole energy body starts to open up. And understand this is a function of your DNA. Right now, as you know, we've had 12 strands of DNA. We operate maybe in 2 or 3. What we're talking about is activating the 4th, 5th, 6th strands and all 12 strands. And that's where the superpowers start to come on and start to come online. So this, again, it's really an alchemical process of activating your DNA. And there's whole ways that you can do that. And that's where your extrasensory perception and all your superpowers come on. And I'm talking about superpowers of being able to transport yourself by location, be able to go into the Akashic records, to be able to visualize all things, to go into other realms. All of that's available to us at the next level. And this is where you start to learn to work with your Merkaba, your light body. So you start to live in your light body more than this physical suit we have, and everything starts activating up. And you start to manifest. You can manifest greatly and your full power of manifestation and live in high abundance. And at that point, you are serving humanity, not just the self. But all this personal growth work is not just for us to get all the superpowers for ourselves. It's for us to serve each other. And you'll find your divine mission and your purpose. And you start to work with time in a whole nother level. So I'm sure you know that time happens all at once. It's not this linear. So as you start to work with the embodiment, you start to have a relationship with all levels of your time, past, present, and future. And it's important to gather like this and support the planetary ascension as it's happening all over, because as the more we gather and affirm this, we inspire each other and we help and heal each other and activate each other towards ascension. And then we are coming into the divine human in the new earth, which is really what we came here to be. So in terms of the new earth, we're talking about, we've heard it all through all the divisions, the golden age, the Kali Yuga, the rainbow prophecy. I mean, when we hear new earth, we go, yeah, that makes sense. Because inside we kind of know that's what we came here to create together, to birth forward for the next 1,000 years. And like I said, we've done this before in other ages, and it didn't work so well like in Atlantis, because the transhuman agenda did come in and kind of hijack what's going on. So at this point, we do have the option, we do have the potential of the organic ascension of humanity. So that's kind of in the battle that we're in right now. But what does 5D Earth look like? What are we going to? So I'll just give you some highlights. We're going to always live in this 5D state, the Christ consciousness, the awakened state, the frequency of love, all as one that we talk about now. That's going to be our world. That's going to be our life. We're going to live in a much higher vibration. Things won't be so dense. It'll be much higher. You'll have access to all your memories. You know how we came in kind of pretty dumbed down? We didn't know anything. Well, in that state, you will have access to your past lives, to your future lives, to the understanding that only comes if you can bring through, certain bits of understanding. So you'll have much more knowing of all that's going on. And you'll be able to instantly manifest. So that's a part of the 5D is you think it and you create it. So all that's going to be a part. And you can live multidimensionally. So you'll be able to access multidimensional realms instead of it just being something that we're aspiring to now. And we'll be able to live in and outside of time. We won't be just locked into this linear level. We're all going to communicate telepathically. So honesty and authenticity is like bottom line, because you're not going to be able to hide in lies, kind of like we do in this, some people do in this 3D Earth. It's going to be all obvious and clear. Collaboration and creating dynamically is just how we're going to do it. Now it's a workshop we have. Then it's going to be how we do it. We're going to live in sacred, eco-regenerative, loving communities together. We're meant to live in tribe. We're meant to all work together and live together. We are going to have divinely aligned technologies that will help our society operate at a whole other level. As soon as we grow up in the galactics, we can have a relationship with the galactics. They're going to even more and more with us those technologies, which they are now and which are coming through now. Money's not going to be in a system that holds us hostage. It's going to be a whole other level of doing it where your value is what you contribute. It's what you know is who you are instead of how much money you have in the bank and you can sit on top of the pyramid. Nature is even going to transform. It's not going to be so violent anymore. It's going to be more like the plant life is, where it just absorbs energy and then gives. Everyone's going to be in sacred community service. It's going to be how we live, kind of like the indigenous live, and we aspire to. It's going to be like that. And we're going to be participating in the Galactic Universe. We're going to understand there's multi-civilizations out there that we can connect with and we can relate to. And we're going to become a member of that galactic community and interchange there. And there's going to be a renaissance of art and creativity, kind of like as civilizations have here once they got abundance in a new level. So what you create and how you create is going to be so much more prized and fun and together. And again, love is the bottom line. It's the love frequency that we're going to, which I know we're all aware of, but to live in that all the time and have that be our flow and our grace and our beauty and our ease. And so a lot of what I've shared here is in the tips and you can download them. And I've got a description on all the tips. I'm going to create a book as well with all the tips, with more in it, and do some workshops where we can talk about this together and really understand this together. But also I say you are all the teachers, because there's a lot of people out there that are questioning now, especially what we all went through. And you guys are so much more ahead of mainstream America. So I invite you all to take this on and be teachers and help move this forward, because the more people awaken, and it is through the heart, the more people come forward, the more we all move forward, and it gets easier and easier. And the children coming in now, that's another thing in the new earth. The children are going to be prized as our leaders, instead of putting them through a system that dumbs them down. They're going to be encouraged to be the next leaders and come up. And that's what's happening now, is all the indigos are coming forward. They are next leaders. So look to the children too, to teach us and lead the way. And there's so much more, but I think probably the 10 is almost up. So just any comments or questions before we, yeah.
Do you have any information around what relationships will look like the loving relationships?
I don't know, but I think it's going to be much more loving and fluid, because that's kind of what we've tended to, instead of being in a box of confined. I know the Palladians are much more fluid, and they're operating at the dimensional level. So I think now the way we are opening to multi relationships, and we all relate to people as we are. In my Soul Tribe book, I kind of talk about that a bit. So it's not confined to this kind of box that our culture curtain is. And you have to be evolved to be able to operate at that loving level and be loved at all times. Which is what Scott teaches.
There's a question, Dorina from Ecuador has a question for you, wanting to know if certain power spots like where we are in Sedona or all around the world increase our ascension. Does it make a difference to be in a power spot?
Definitely. That was one of the tips I put. Definitely those spots are healing areas and power spots areas. And I think more and more are going to be appearing on the earth as the earth becomes more and more of a whole activation itself. So yes and no, because you can be your own activation. So if you can't get to a power spot, you're totally fine. Create a power spot by bringing people together and creating the power spot in your area. But yes, if you can go to Sedona, if you can go to the pyramids, if you can go anywhere that your heart says called, definitely. And to go with people that you love is the most exciting thing. That's my fun thing, is to go to power spots with you, with everyone, and do sacred ceremony there and really help energize and bring back your memories. I go to certain areas that I know I've had lifetimes before, like Egypt, and I bring back my memories of that lifetime. So the power spots can have all kinds of functions to activate you, bring back your memories, and take you up higher, especially with beloveds. So, but this is on ascensionnow.org. You can download the Ascension tips and ascensionnow.org, and it's on your postcards that you have there. And it's going to continue to evolve. So if you read them and there's something you want to share me, what about this tip? This isn't included, or I'm not sure if this is right. I'm open to everything, because this is a learning process with all of us. And I'm going to have continued Ascension teachers look at them. And then, like I said, I'm going to evolve them to have descriptions on them. And then a book with various Ascension teachers giving their perspective on what's happening now. And so I hope the book will come out in 2023. And just continue, but find your teachers in your own world, ask your higher self to give it to you, and this will just show up in your world, because it's happening so fast now. I'm sure you know that. It's really amazing. So
Let's hear it for Debra.
It's really good. Thank you all so much. And we'll stay tuned for the next level. We are on the path together. It's beautiful. All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Debra. That was awesome.
Right.
And you have a nice audience watching. And yeah, I want to take a minute to acknowledge all of our friends that are watching on the live stream. We've got about a dozen people in the Zoom room, and we've got people watching on Facebook or on all the different pages. So you are all welcome, and we're sending you lots and lots of love. We're going to roll right into the next part of our program, and then we'll take our lunch break. And what can I say? It's time for some wowza. Wowza is going to get us up and going and vibrating in her unique, amazing wowza ways. Do you want a microphone, wowza?
And if you could be here, so the camera,
I got this. I want to stand.
you can stand just till,
Can I? See, I need contact. It's been a while since.
if you want to move over by like where Paul is, or. You do whatever you like.
Well, I feel like there's a little bit of wall here. So
Yeah, you can go ahead, look up.
I can wander a little. I've never admitted this before to a group, but it's the actual truth that my first love affair was with an audience of strangers. It's true. It was the first time from a child, and most of us come here with a wounding. And cross eyes, eczema, physical emotional abuse, a skin disease, the town leper. And not knowing any modeling of love. So we've just been doing the best we can. And there was something in tapping into an energy, a primal energy that catapulted me out of extreme inhibition into wow. I mean, whoa, what is this energy? Let me merge with you. Let me be you. I know it's possible, regardless of anything that has happened to us. And I'm feeling myself shaking. After 6 decades, leading groups all over the world, I am shaking. I am vibrating. I am exposing what most of us feel that is usually hidden. And I'm exposing, I'm revealing, I am celebrating being alive. Yes. And I celebrate the wounding. That is the theater. That is why we came. Let's have a damn good drama. Really? Because the whole thing is, whoa, a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, you know? And I'm like, oh, one more. Oh, I can finally see me in you. Because there's no one, nothing. We are not. And see, is it safe? Right? We go through these little dances. Woo. And we peak and we back off and we come closer. What is all this about? How do we step into our greater self? How do we come into the big love? Through you and of seeing you as an aspect of my very being, and of you, and of you. And what's so beautiful, what's happening right now is my dear friends Connie and Andrew, last year we were doing a beautiful ceremony of Dance of Souls and of really looking at some of the, quite honestly, the caca of this drama and of bringing it into fruition so that it can be up to love.
And then what is the larger, bigger self-love that we're all a part of? Ooh, ha, cha, cha, cha. The voice is like, no.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Once you let out the cat out the bag. Watch out. So there's been a lot of talk. What I'd love to have you do, if you could find, I'll demonstrate a little bit. I'm going to do a little piece. I'm about embodiment of the one feeling, the one emotion, the one love that we are all part of. And if I can get that set up first, and then Connie and Andrew will do a piece, and then I'd like to come back and hope you can hang in there to bring it to our greater self. And how do you step into the shoes of something that we all know we are one with? So in the name, in one word, is the all. We can take our name as representative of the world that we came to fit into. And as good girls, as cool kids, as smart, as strong. My God, you gotta be strong. Okay, 6 years old, little kid, I'm gonna be strong like daddy. And we developed a social role. God, I can do this. Except then we can't throw the ball very well because we've built the muscles so strong. Or cool, everything, don't get so excited. So we've all got shapings in this. So with that, maybe just would be better if you could stand just for a moment. Stand up with them. Real quick. We gotta be quick with this because we've got a big thing ahead.
So we're checking. How are people doing with being in the sun? Do people want to move into the shade? Is it, or are people getting cooked? Or we've got 1 more hour, a total of Wowza, Connie and Andrew before we'll break. So it'd be great if we can keep everybody as is. But if people are getting cooked pretty badly, then we could take a minute to move to the shade. No, I'm just asking for the next hour. Yeah. So are people going to be okay for 1 more hour in this configuration? Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. And what I'd like you to do is one of you simply say your name in your classic style, in your class. Pardon? Oh, you're going to do this with a partner. Charlotte, come up with me. Yeah, just for a second, just to demonstrate for them. Say your name. Charlotte. Oh, sure. See, she had the word a little. Oh, I like that. She voice straight, the smile. Can I morph into you? Can I be you for just 1 split second? Can I take on your vibration? Charlotte, say it again. I need practice. Charlotte. Oh, how those eyes and those eyebrows. Ooh, smile. That's it. And so, see, then I'll do my classic one, right? I have a classic one. I was your traditional nice girl, right? Of course. Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm going to give you my regular name. Hi, I'm Elisa. Can you demonstrate?
I'm Elisa.
You see your phone. Yeah. So you caught, see, the defining essence of a social role. That's not all who we are. Okay. So let's just run that real quick. Each of the degree you could actually get into, morph into their body, shape shift into your partner's social role. What happens? Instantly, you get off it whatever the traditional style is, and now you become another. And in that, I suggest we grow larger and not being taken over by someone else. We can continue to grow. Thank you very much. Okay, can we do that just real quick? Do say it a few times for your partner. Demonstrate that you can morph into their role, and then they'll do it for you, and then we'll move on to Connie just for a minute. Go with your partner. Share your name and have your partner duplicate it. Take on the gestures. Take on the gestures. Take on the gestures. If your partner, try play with it. It's how if there's shyness, if there whatever there is, can you duplicate your partner's sound? Can you duplicate the rhythm? Can you be your partner for a minute? The style of your partner. Huh? So he crosses his hands to share with her. Share with her. Share your name to her, and then share his name back. Become him. Okay. Great. And then you will do it for him. Now you do it for him. What's your social role? Yes. Keep playing with it a little bit. Just keep playing it with it a little. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's all the time we have. Come back for a moment. Come back for a moment. Come back for a moment. Okay. So Connie and Andrew are going to do a piece. And what I'm suggesting, as Gabrielle Roth brought in the 5 rhythms, I'm bringing in the 5 vowels. Expressive arts therapy for 60 years, history of working with people's energetic expression. And so at the end, I'd like to share 3 secrets of ageless vitality, moving into 86 in 3 weeks. I'd like to show how in one word and in one social role, the whole kit and caboodle can be opened up. Okay, so I'm excited to see you again. And in the meantime, to bring out the trust frequency and dance of souls of these 2 beautiful people, Baxter and Andrew.
Thank you, Wowza.
Arnie, would you hold us?
Yes, we'll reconfigure, Sam, we'll sit down and everyone can go into their seats again.
If everybody
Please.
would say, this is a reset. Okay, cameras, sense a little bit here, and just move and be run so fast and then more on that.
But we only have a few minutes for this transition.
Yeah, it's breaks gonna be after you guys. So you don't want
Let's go.
Yeah, come on back here. And you have 1 hour.
Yeah.
You have an hour total
Oh, from this
from
moment.
this moment.
Okay, perfect.
It's 10 to 12. Yeah.
Shall we?
And, well, you should be facing people. You want, Andrew, why do you want?
And that camera's off, this next one's on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good. Okay. Are you on?
No.
Yes, okay.
Are we set here?
Yeah.
Yes, you sit on this camera, you gotta go there.
All right, here we are. And we're setting up another camera and
Mike, a little closer to your mouth.
a little closer. Okay, well, I'm Connie Baxter Marlowe, and this is Andrew Cameron Bailey here. Okay. Make sure the mic is on.
No, she needs it, you gotta have about 2 inches from your mouth.
Do a test, Connie, on the microphone.
Okay, here we are. Is this better?
Yes.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Hey, we're getting there.
Well, while we're waiting for them to get set up, just want to let everybody know that the lunch will be ready at about 1:15. So they're gonna go till 12:45. Then we'll need to shuttles for people to get the cars and also drop a few more cars off. Then we'll come back for lunch. And then of course, for the people who want to go to the land blessing, let me know. And then the people who want to go to the psychic fair, of course, you might want to just go into the psychic fair from here. And I'm sure there's food near the psychic fair. By general rule of thumb, who's planning on going to the land blessing? Great, okay. All right, and who's going to the psychic fair? It's still not people raising their hands for both. Got it, okay, good. Are you guys ready?
We all rolling here.
Okay, great.
Connie, would you like to do this?
Okay, here we are. And we're going to take you through a bit of a dance of souls in the trust of frequency. And so I hope you're ready. You've been being prepared for this, but on the past few days with this ascension knowledge that we're heading someplace very special and that the earth is moving into a higher frequency and it's supporting this ascension process. And we have work to do to keep up with her. She's calling us forth. And Debra mentioned the shadow work, that we do need to go inside and clear those parts of ourselves that we don't love yet. That job we came on the planet to do. So we're going to take you through a little bit of an understanding of the nature of the universe that will help go beyond duality, beyond right and wrong, beyond good and evil, which is a very big leap. But it's the leap into the trust frequency, what we call it, because we learn that we can trust a conscious, loving, abundant universe, and that in the higher frequencies, it is an expanded reality. We've been learning this in the last few days, and Isaac spoke of unity consciousness coming through the heart and through unconditional love. But how do we love unconditionally when we don't love ourselves unconditionally? And we're going to bring you a construct on the nature of the universe that will help you understand that we came to move from victim to beloved, that we are indeed beloved, and that we promised to bring a gift to the earth, to humanity, and to the cosmos, that all of creation is awaiting that gift we promised to bring to the party, which is us, all of us. So I'm going to give a little construct, and then Andrew's going to do a meditation to help you go there. But first, I want to give you a construct on the nature of the universe that we've come to understand through indigenous cosmology and quantum science. It's a synthesis of the two. Visionary elders came into my life when I was seeking the missing pieces of the paradigm. And through them, I saw this reality. So we're just going to give it to you briefly. And that is, our definition of humanity is that we are a collection of divine, autonomous, sovereign beings who chose to incarnate on earth on our journey to wholeness, self-love, self-acceptance, alignment with our divinity, and our purpose. So we're going to ask you to take these statements we're bringing you as absolutely true. Okay, it's a huge difference to say, oh yeah, God is love, God is everything. Okay, but what about war? What about abuse? What about all those things that we call not love? Well, this construct that we're going to give you resolves that paradox. It's the huge paradox that's keeping us from moving into that higher ascension that Debra was just talking about. Because as long as we're in judgment, as long as we're in good and evil, right and wrong, we're in a lower frequency. So it's a big job, a big leap, but we're getting there. So that's our definition of humanity. And then I'll just go over the first 4 assumptions of our 10 assumptions for a new paradigm. And the first one is, it's a conscious, loving universe. There is only love. The love of the universe is unconditional. It gives us everything we ask for. What are our requests? Our consciousness. Here are 7 A's of our consciousness, 7 aspects of our consciousness that all begin with A in one sentence, that determine our vibration, therefore our frequency, therefore our reality. Okay, so here it is. With expanded awareness and accurate assumptions, we choose our attitude, consciously direct our attention, align with our highest inner promptings, take committed action, and allow the loving universe to manifest beyond our wildest dreams. Because we can't fathom what's in that frequency, because we're here in this lower vibration where all our systems and our beliefs were developed in response to a lower frequency. So no shame, no blame, no they, no conditioning, no whatever. We've been responding to a lower frequency. And now this higher frequency, this Aquarian age, is calling us forth into a higher frequency. And we have to do the work to keep up with the earth. And all of creation is awaiting the love in the human heart. So we're doing this for all of creation. We're transmuting these energies of fear, separation, and scarcity. So Andrew's now going to do a brief meditation to take you into that absolute place of there is only love. And that's love with a capital L. It's different from the love of compassion, empathy, etc., that we are showing and bringing forth through our humanity. It is the unifying force of the universe. It is, in fact, all there is. So, have at it, dear Andrew.
Thank you, Connie. So this is a rare and wonderful privilege and honor to be with you, beautiful people. Wow, wow, wow. Now, looking beyond you, don't get to see it, but we do. We see the red rocks of Sedona, these amazing rock formations that have these mystical powers. So just be aware that you are completely surrounded by, essentially, I think we can simply call it spirit. If you possibly can, take off your shoes and socks and be grounded, because it's really important to maintain our connection. If you're on the grass, that's even better. If you're not, the concrete works. Sit as comfortably as you can with your spine as erect as possible, but not stiff, just relaxed. Just, as Bart was saying last night, it's as though you have this string that is all the way up to the center of the universe that we are suspended from. We are sort of like these dangling puppets just waving in the breeze. Let me give us a little background here. This is going to be, I think you could call this a shamanic journey. Is anybody okay with it? I mean, everybody okay with that? Is that we're going to go somewhere. We're going to go very quickly and come right back again. So don't worry about it. Your shoes will still be here. And I'm the science guy of this team, of the Connie and Andrew team. We're the authors of the trust frequency. As Connie just said, it's
it's a synthesis, if you will, of quantum science and indigenous wisdom and just plain common sense and ancient Vedic wisdom and all of actually the wisdom of, it's a distillation of the wisdom of humanity, if you will. I like to think of it that way. So just take a deep, gentle breath. We're going to slow way down. We're going to go into that place where there is no time. We're going to go into that place where there is no space. We're going to go into that timeless place that you can think of as eternity, the state the universe was in before the universe existed. Back when it was dark and lonely before Creator started creating, and we, the creation, began to show up. What was it like then? Dark, cold, not a lot of fun, no company, no reflection of the beauty in the potential of that universe prior to creation. And then, pushing 14 billion years later in Earth time, here we are. There's billions of us humans on this planet, and we have separated ourselves from that original unity. When we say there's only one, we are all one, what do we mean by that? Think of this from a scientific standpoint, from a quantum physics standpoint. We are connected, we are united, and we're profoundly separated by something that might just be an illusion. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what creators do. If I'm a painter, I'm going to put my vision on this canvas, and I'm going to put this canvas on a wall in a gallery, and I'm going to walk away from it. I've separated myself from my creation. So on the big, big picture, I'd like to take us on a journey that I personally have only been on once myself before, and it was very recently. It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I had this marvelous condition called COVID, and I had a sore throat, the likes of which I just shudder to remember. I couldn't swallow anything. If I had to take a pill, it made me jump 2 feet off the floor with the pain. And we have a friend who came on the telephone and took me on a journey. And she's a science person, and she works with a quantum physicist. I don't know if any of you have heard of William Brown. Anyone aware of William? He's quite extraordinary. Remember that very simple name, William Brown. He works with Nassim Haramein, and he is the one who is getting to a description of the nature of the universe from a science, from a very rigid, not rigid, rigorous scientific perspective. So that's where I want to take us very quickly. And this friend, Maureen, took me there. And in a nutshell, it is the essence of healing. Here's the thing. In our trust frequency book, I actually say we each get our own universe. We're not necessarily all here together in one universe. What if we're a gathering of universes? What if each one of us, through our consciousness, is the universe? But that universe, which is Andrew's universe, and Connie's universe, and Sakina's universe, and right? Turns out that that's a very limited vision. I thought that was a pretty big vision. Oh, we each get our own universe. That's pretty big, right? No, wrong. Because why? Because each of us is composed of, and here's where the journey begins. Each of us, we're going to go into our own bodies. Each of us, I think we know, is composed of cells. And there are supposedly between 50 and 70 trillion cells in each of our bodies. That's quite a lot of cells in this gathering here. Think of us as all these cells come together as a part of conscious cells. Each of those cells consists of billions, I don't know the numbers, of what? Atoms, molecules. And each of those atoms and molecules consist of billions or trillions of, no, no, you can't say each atom. There are billions and trillions of subatomic particles, and each one of those subatomic particles connects deeper and deeper and deeper until we get down to a word I used yesterday, the Planckian level. The universe is pixelated. The universe is actually pixelated. It is pixelated information. If you go to the tiniest pixel, that's called a Planck unit. Max Planck, Planck, was a European physicist, the Planck unit. And at that Planck scale, we're literally at the pixels of the universe, and there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions of those pixels. That's just this guy sitting here today. What? That's wild. Now, as you get into those, you learn that they are entangled. This is a quantum physics term. It means it's the same thing as saying we are all connected. So we've now, if we've succeeded in this very left brain sort of science oriented, but I wanted to be that way. I wanted this to stand up to analytical examination. If we are trillions upon trillions upon trillions of Planck scale pixels in this universe, conscious units of information, I'm going to tell you something about those pixels. That's not the smallest thing there is, because each of them is in fact a black hole. I have always tended to think of black holes as huge, as enormous, as massive, and they are. But they're at the largest scale and they're at the smallest scale. Every one of those Planck scale pixels is connected to every other one by a wormhole. Whoa, how's that for woo-woo science fiction? But it's true, it's science. We are connected at the most profound level to every other pixel in all of the trillions and trillions and trillions of actual universes, because we really do get our own universe. But not only that, every cell in our body gets its own universe, and it goes on and on. So why is this important? It's important to healing. Why? How? What? What's this guy talking about? Literally, scientifically, I am a huge cluster of realities, of alternative realities. Many of them look much like this one, but they're not this one. There's one in which, let's just take an example. Somebody has just been diagnosed with a scary disease. We've got, and we put names to it, cancer, emphysema in my case, a non-smoker, but I was diagnosed with emphysema. I was in the construction business. I breathed a lot of toxic stuff. Probably wasn't a good idea. However, there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions of realities in which I do not have any diseases, none of those things that frighten us and end up making us sick and even killing us. So what an extraordinary thing that we can penetrate down into the deepest parts of the universe and find total alternatives that actually are completely free of everything we see or regard as a problem in this current life, this existence that we are habituated to. Think about that. So I'm going to give this little talk a title. I'm going to call it The Power of Agreement. We humans have agreed to be on this planet together. As Connie said, humanity is a collection of divine, autonomous, sovereign beings who have chosen to gather together here in Sedona and have a blast together. Is that how it goes? Something like that. Point being, that's an agreement. Our bodies agreed to come, the parts of our bodies agreed to stay together. This patio we're sitting on agreed to be concrete, strong enough to support us, and we wouldn't collapse into a, So there's agreements at every level of existence, all the way down to the sub-Planckian level. It's conscious, it's turtles. Here's a turtle. It's turtles all the way down. Ever heard that expression? That's what that means. It's fractal. It is the same, no matter how far out you go, how far in you go. The further out you go, the further in you are, the further in you go, the further out you are. There are alternatives in which we are free, completely healthy, completely perfect to the original vision, the DNA, the blueprint of our bodies and our beings and our souls. Wow, how about that? And it's an agreement, but the agreement can only be made. I cannot heal you. A healer cannot heal another person. The only person with the right, the authority to heal themselves is themselves, which is actually no different because we are actually all part of the one. There's only one self with a capital S. We call it God, we call it the universe, we call it Allah. I love that word. The Arabic word A-L-L. In English, that means all. And when I see the enormity of all, I go, ah, so I get Allah. Yep, that's what it means. So the point here is that we can heal. And we heal by knowing that we can go into a new agreement because every one of us is in relationship. And this little play shop here, so I'm being a little playful, this play shop is about relationships. It's called the Dance of Souls. What is a soul? It's a conscious pixel in the universe that is big enough to become me and you and you and you and you and you and you and you. How cool is that? And we can dance together and we have relationships with each other and we find each other and each of us is a mirror to everyone else. How sweet is that? How extraordinary is that? Ever been in love? Anyone ever looked into that mirror? You're seeing yourself. Maybe I'm a boy and it's a girl. And I've always wanted a girl. You know, somebody said they're really pretty cool, you know, and yeah. So this is fun, it's deep, it's profound, and it's about the essence of healing and why, as souls, do we come together? Why do we get into relationships? Perhaps it is so that we can heal ourselves and heal each other and get beyond the consequences of the illusion of separation. Because the consequences of the illusion of separation have resulted in a rather, from my perspective, scary world today. What? We're divided into 200 countries, nations, each with its own army and air force and navy and all this stuff. It's like, who made that up? We've constructed a rather absurd, our species, our beautiful evolving species has gone a long way down a weird road from my perspective. We created it, we can uncreate it, we can recreate it. And I think we have work to do. I think we have conscious evolution to undertake. You know that term? Yeah, our beloved Barbara Marx Hubbard. So, has anybody left the planet? Is anybody still at the subplunkian level? Or shall we invite ourselves back? And I realized this was more of a little nutty comedic science presentation than a shamanic journey, but I enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever done it. So I never do the same thing twice, by the way. And if you go on our Dance of Souls online course, I've got, I believe, yeah, we have 7. Essentially one for each of the 7 A's, the aspects of consciousness. And there's a whole bunch of those. So if you enjoyed this one, those ones are a little more structured. They're a little maybe less spontaneous, although I have to confess they were totally spontaneous. I sat down in front of a camera, opened my mouth, and out they came. Yeah, it's true. So I love just being in the now, trusting the moment, trusting the wisdom. There's not my wisdom, it's the wisdom that comes through if I get out of the way. And the Dance of Souls. And my current dance partner for pretty much precisely 19 years this month, this gorgeous being on my left here. Woo! And I'm going to tell you something about how we met and where we met, and then I'm going to hand the mic to Connie. We met at a place called the Omega Institute. in upstate New York. Anybody know the Omega Institute in upstate New York? Yeah, I was involved with Omega since 5 or 6 years before it opened its doors. I was part of the Pure Allied Sufi group. But years later, I returned there with some Siberian shamans that I've been working with. And there were about 110 participants, and there were 9, I believe, wisdom keepers. It was called what was it called? The Return of the Wisdom Keepers, something like that. And one of those wisdom keepers is sitting right in the middle of the circle here. There she is right over there. Her name is Sakina Bluestar from Sedona, Arizona. There she is. Hello, Sedona. Hello, Sakina. Not kidding. And I met Connie and Sakina together at the same exact moment in the same workshop. And that's how we met. That's Sakina, that's 19 years ago. And I'm going to make a public announcement here. On our 20th anniversary, we've been engaged for 19 years, this young lady and myself. We're seriously considering tying the knot next year on our 20th anniversary. What do you think of that? So that's that.
Sakina married us spiritually in the Monument Valley several years ago.
So we have not been living in sin. Thank heaven for that. So any questions on that subject before we go into what is actually, it's really good to keep a playful attitude, but it's work. This is a workshop. It's also a play shop. So let's be playful, but also because, you know, we humans have manifested some uncomfortable stuff that we're not necessarily proud of. And can we change that? Can we heal ourselves psychologically? Because, you know, if we heal ourselves psychologically, the physical just follows right along behind it. So any questions? And then we'll proceed into the meat of this adventure. Okay, I think we might be ready. Are we ready?
Sure.
Do we dare?
Yeah.
Here we go. Constance Baxter Marla.
So that was quite an adventure for us all. A very exciting adventure as science comes through for us, so our mind can align with our hearts and with the true nature of the universe and take us into that place that Debra was speaking about, into that 5th dimension. So thank you very much, Andrew, for taking us on that recently experienced journey you were on with Maureen Edwardson, who does inner resonance technology. You can check her out. It's very important work that she's doing.
Would you tell what?
Oh, he forgot to mention that his sore throat went away almost immediately. So what we're here to do today is this dance of souls in the trust frequency. And I gave you a reality, an absolutely true reality, to take that on right now, just to see how it fits for you, for the exercise of seeing that we are beloved, that there is only love, and our soul's journey to wholeness, that we made an overarching act of free will. And one thing I did leave out as far as the assumption is, there is only free will. There's only love. There's only our soul's journey to wholeness. There's only free will. So you take that construct and ask questions within that construct, and it flips everything, because we see that each soul has a journey. We don't know another soul's journey, what their contract was, what their overarching act of free will was to come to Earth to experience. So then we have to say that whatever it is in fact a choice, a free will choice. And people who've been through extreme abuse, through extreme situations, are coming to understand that. I was just talking to Bart last night, and he's been through tremendous challenges in his life, and he knows that they in fact served him to come to where he is today and to bring his gift to the world. And I figure a lot of you have been through a lot of circumstances and are feeling that way. And once we get out of the victim consciousness and just know that it has to do with the promise we made, to come to planet Earth and bring the gift of us, all of us, not just the parts we want the world to see, not just the parts that society said, oh yeah, show up, and if you're smart enough, and if you're good enough, you will succeed. Well, that led us to hiding aspects of ourselves that we don't love yet. So that's our journey. We came in we chose our families, we chose our circumstances, we put certain circumstances even through a filter to get the wounds we needed to take in, that we would process through our lifetime. We would take these in childhood, and we would feel victimized. We would feel, oh, I'm not okay. I'm less than. I'm stupid. I'm this, I'm that. Those things that work we came on the planet to do. And we put a mask over that, a beautiful mask. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do well in school, even though I know I'm really stupid, but I'm gonna do well in school. I'll show up, they'll think I'm smart, and I'll get a job, and everything will be fine. Oh no, that's because we told the loving universe, take me on my soul's journey to wholeness. So the loving universe shows up and in the form of relationships. Those relationships we can't get away from. Our parents, our siblings, our teachers, our bosses. We can't get away from those relationships so easily. They've come to show us the parts of ourselves we love, our light, and our shadow. So, in fact, we must take things personally. Sorry about that, Don Miguel Ruiz, but there's another level of looking at all this, and that is, we wrote the script. Others are showing up with the script we've written. Our souls are magnetizing behaviors in others and circumstances, because we gave an arching act of will. We said, universe, do this. I came to love all of myself. And that's key in everything that's being said in these last couple of days, to get to that place Isaac was talking about, of unconditional love for others. We can't get there as long as we feel less than. And that less than encompasses all manner of whatever it is we feel that we're not adequate. We shouldn't be here. What, I've been abandoned. Yeah, I've been abandoned. Why? Because I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be here. Well, that's a violation of our agreement with Spirit to bring the essence of who we are to the party. It's a gift to the party, and it's all of us. So we're going to manifest behaviors in others to show us our light and our shadow. So it's not them. We try to put it on them. It's about us. What? Oh, you made me feel stupid. Oh, well, thank you very much. I must feel stupid. Thank you very much. We move to gratitude from blame and shame of others. We move to gratitude, and we do the work, because that's the calling now. That's the Aquarian energy, that we've got to keep up with the earth. If we want to do this thing that Debra's talking about, and she mentioned it all, but it's hands-on. We've got to do the work, and it is about us. So what we have the mask that we put on. So, and it served us very well. Our ego, our wonderful ego, it did it. It got us here. We're all alive. We're still here. We're smiling. We're on the journey. But it's time. The soul is desperate for us to do this work. The ego's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I got you this far. But the soul is desperate for this journey, for us to become conscious and come to love those parts of ourselves. So we have the mask, and then we have our defense mechanisms, right? Oh, you showed me you just said something that made me feel stupid. I'm gonna make you feel stupid. And I'm gonna accuse you of accusing me of being stupid. So I'm gonna put you on the defense. I'm gonna make you bad and wrong. So there's all manner of defense mechanisms. That's one of them. Another one is, I'm just gonna walk away and I'm gonna cut you out of my life forever. Forget it, you just made me feel stupid for the last time. You're out. Okay, so we have to identify our defense mechanisms and become conscious. And what leads us to that is our trigger. Okay, so the trigger is the sign that it is about us. People can do and say anything when it's about them, but if it triggers something in us, then it's our signal to go inside and learn to love that part of ourselves and feel how stupid I feel. I felt all my life, and just feel the feelings and bring them into the light, and just know that we all came here to be a magnificent piece of the divine with a gift that is us. So I just want to leave that there. Let's see, so our defense mechanism. So then it's about fear of what's anybody going to say? What are they going to do if I actually be me? That's a scary one, because I'm shown as this person, and now I'm going to be that person, that true me, like Wowza was saying. Bring our true self to the party. So just know that that true self is what all of creation is waiting for. As Andrew said, we are all of creation. So we affect all of creation with everything we do, every thought we have, every emotion we have. We are serving the collective consciousness with our work. We've got to do this work for all of creation. We promised the energies, we transmute these energies of fear, of separation, of scarcity, and we've done a great job. So now I think Rouse is going to come in and do a little thing, and we're going to close it with our vows of love that we have. So we're going to have you all, I'm going to read these vows of love, and you're going to go and walk around and look in each other's eyes and repeat after me these vows of love. But Wowza is going to take you into a little something. All right, Wowza?
Well, in the saying of our name, you might have noticed, again, little things like maybe pulling in the chest a little bit, or sometimes the shoulders have been a great protection. Sometimes we've had to rise above it and present an image of something outstanding. And we know that there's something so much more than the roles we play. And so if I could have your attention for a moment of 5 portals, and these 5 portals are definitely the secrets of my personal ageless vitality and a way to catapult out of the box into a whole new world of expression. Can I have an yeah? And I mean, yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. I mean, if we take one of those last, what do they call it? Right? See the open up to the passion, right? The passion of her, a primal energy, the sexual, the sensual. Us. And then as the hourglass moves, let's say up to the top, how to open up I mean, the biggest barrier of head-centric expression, right? Oh, stay in there, be good. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Can I have an ah? Oh my God. The sky of our mind. Takes the loss. I have a for the skin. Where do we end? Where do we end? Can we find a defining line anywhere? And then out of that, what's in the contrast of these two extremes? We have the great, the soul, the solar plexus. Can I have it? It's a whole new language. Without a language, we don't go very far. The world's getting smaller. People will not understand English. The vowelings of that name of yours, if I take a leap, but I want to finish, how to bring it all together. First, we have to see this opens up the sky of our mind. The air opens us up to the earth. The O covers all bases. Can I? We got a language that brings it in the ooh. The ooh brings it back into that conscious loving universe in every cell of our body. The ooh, when we hug, we hold each other's hands. What do we do? Ooh. I do hold you. Now see the o, the ooh, the wah. You can't forget, see the blood and guts. Can't wait. So when I go back to Elisa, hi, I'm Elisa, right? That one. I could walk my whole life as that little girl that got razor straps and cross eyes and eczema over half my body. The town leper, right? And a little quiver in my voice. Just imagine. But instead, the give it a tail. If you play with your name right now, we have very little time to come into a conscious, loving universe and these beautiful people we're talking about. How do we bring the your name to the ooh, that is no longer here I am, right here. I am separate from you. And we see we are living in a separative body language. We have been raised to be separate in its physiology as well as anything else. And this say, we can this is a new body language. I have a choice to move away from you, to move forward to you. It's Tai Chi and sprinklers. It's all a fluidity of being with lots of tails that can move us through hell and high water. Just for a moment, say your names out loud, just let a chorus come out. Your name, extend the right? To a big cell. We're gonna be bigger. We're gonna be bigger in our breathing. It's gonna be an aesthetic aliveness, right? It's where it's working. No, it can't work in little Larisa. Is he? Did I do it? Did I do it right? No. Oh, it's caught in here. I got one pair of eyes. Oh. So I give you this portal. Oh. And out of that can we stand, because they're going to be moving with the great love frequencies for a moment. Oh. Can we just call an echo? Can I have a oh, yeah. See where can we look? See? Oh my God, I see you. I see you. I see you. How many times have we done that? Where did it go? Oh, come on. Let's move. Can we, this is the whole pre-verbal language of our feeling nature. Hi. Really? There's only you. There's no one ever in the whole world that is you. He's not allow you. Oh. Terrible feeling. We don't have to use the word anymore.
And so we'll do a little vows of love. And we'll just carry on, and we'll just wander around and look in each other's eyes and repeat after me these vows of love. Here we are. Okay. I will faithfully. Hello. We're going to do these vows of love. I will faithfully reflect the light and beauty that is in your heart. Now, come around and look in each other's eyes and say this to each, and just keep rotating. I will also mirror for you come say it, all of your wounds and insecurities. And will help you make friends with your shadow. Self you do not yet love. I will as well thank you and honor you for mirroring for me the parts of myself that I cannot see. Each time I try to blame and judge you, I will remind myself to look inside and articulate and bring into the light my shadow side that you have shown me. I realize that by entering into a relationship with you, I have agreed to walk with you into deep unconscious levels on the journey to wholeness. If at any time we decide to end this relationship, I recognize that it will be because we have served each other's growth as best we can. I look forward to the day when the fruit of our time together will have ripened through the many seasons of our relationship. Now, for a big hug. Thank you very much. We proceed together on the journey to wholeness. May we each show each other our light and our shadow, and do that shadow work and bring all of ourselves to the party. That promise we made to all of creation. Thank you very much.
Looks where it's from. Hey, everybody, before we break, we're gonna have one more Omashar song. And that's gonna be kind of a fun way, and then we'll take our lunch break. And remember, again, we really gotta move cars. So I know that some people wanna go get their cars. I will, if you need to know the address for the land blessing, let me know. For the psychic fair, I'll be around. And I will go with one of the shuttles because I've got to get something from my car, actually. And let's do one more time for Connie, Andrew, and Wowshot. Yeah, I mean, who's driving to Larisa? Let's see, people who are driving to Larisa. Okay, so right there, take a look. So there are two cars that are going to be going. So if you want to go to Larisa's, talk with one of Christine and Charlotte. Charlotte and Jennifer. I knew for a moment. All right. Are you ready, brother? So we will close out our session here, and this will be the end of our live stream with Omashar. All things begin and end with Omashar. But we'll be back on the Awakening World at 6 p.m. with Dannion Brinkley and Larisa Stow and Carolyn Hauser and the Swami from the Land Blessing. Take it away, Omashar. Move. Yeah, moving down, everybody. Good. Yeah.
Though it's taken time, these fell from my eyes. So open your heart to dance along. I'm thinking it's time to stop that same old song. Oh, come alive, so hear me now. I'm in love with the world around me. No hold in my arms. My dream. And live to in my dream. I'll travel for time to see you standing right. Sunshine. I'm coming to hear me now. I am in love with the world around me. Now hold her in my arms. My dream. So hear me now. I am in love with the world around me. I will hold her in my arms. My dream. I'm gonna be who I am. What do you need to reflect on? What do you need? Breathing will need to cause oh, it's gonna oh, huh?
Hey, everybody. This is where I've been working, actually. So, yes. End of the live stream. We're gonna end it. See you at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, everybody.